Have you ever wondered how much tariffs are going to cost you, the consumer? Well, now Amazon is going to show you. That's right. Today, Tuesday, April 29th, Amazon announced that moving forward, they're going to show the exact additional cost that tariffs are adding to all of your products. Now, for example, a pair of wireless earbuds are going to cost you $121 when normally they would have cost you $99, and it'll show you that $22.77 have been added because of these tariffs. Tariffs are only added to products made and manufactured outside of the United States, but for those products, you're going to see them go up on average 29%. And the White House is not happy about Jeff Bezos's and Amazon's transparency with their consumers, calling this a hostile political move.
Just got off the phone with the president about Amazon's announcement. This is a hostile and political act by Amazon. Why didn't Amazon do this when the Biden administration hiked inflation to the highest level in 40 years? And I would also add that it's not a surprise because, as Reuters recently wrote, Amazon has partnered with a Chinese propaganda arm. So this is another reason why Americans should buy American. It's another reason why we are onshoring critical supply chains here at home to shore up our own critical supply chain and boost our own manufacturing here.
The Biden administration, whether you're pro-Biden or anti-Biden, the empirical evidence shows that our COVID response under President Biden destroyed the U.S. economy. And now, as a result, inflation is rampant, recession is pending.
Here's what inflation did under the Trump and Biden administrations. Inflation was at 2.5% when Trump took office and hovered between 1.5% and 2.5% until the pandemic started. According to the Department of Labor Statistics, within months, it dipped to 0.1% as lockdowns stalled consumer demand, especially for energy. Now, when Biden took office, inflation was at 1.4% and it skyrocketed, peaking at 9% in June of 2022. Now, according to the St. Louis Federal Reserve, prices surged during the pandemic because supply went way down and demand went way up. The pandemic bottlenecked global supply chains so goods couldn't be made, and people stuck at home were saving record amounts of money and getting trillions in government stimulus from both administrations. Trump signed the $1.7 trillion CARES Act. Biden signed the $1.9 trillion American Rescue Plan. Inflation fell substantially over the last year and is at 2.5%, which doesn't mean things are getting cheaper. It means they're going up less.
This election is obviously going to be fought on the economy like many elections. And Donald Trump has argued that President Biden has delivered the worst economy in history. So let's look at a few metrics that might suggest the facts are actually something different. So this is job growth across presidents going back to Reagan. But let's focus for the moment on Trump versus Biden. And let's be fair and strip out the effects of COVID, which obviously hurt Donald Trump and ultimately helped Joe Biden during the recovery. So that's these darker bars. And you can see, even stripping out COVID, Donald Trump created an average of 182,000 jobs a month. Joe Biden created an average of 268,000 jobs a month. And that is not only more than Donald Trump, that is more than any president going back to somewhere before Reagan. We go back to Reagan here. So even Clinton, even Reagan, Joe Biden created, ex-COVID, more jobs. The president's been talking a lot about manufacturing jobs. So let's look at the record on manufacturing jobs. It is true manufacturing jobs began to come back under Trump. Not surprisingly, they fell off a cliff. And Joe Biden has brought them back to the highest level they've been at since during the financial crisis. We have 186,000 more manufacturing jobs than we had in 2008. Obviously, we'd like to have still more, but manufacturing is a very tough sector for us. And this is a pretty impressive performance.
He often used to tussle with tech titans, but tonight, President-elect Trump is basking in their support.
Mark Zuckerberg's been over to see me, and I can tell you Elon is another, and Jeff Bezos is coming up next week, and I want to get ideas from them.
Mark Zuckerberg's Meta, Jeff Bezos' Amazon, and now Sam Altman, who runs OpenAI, are planning to donate $1 million each to Trump's inaugural fund. Zuckerberg recently had dinner at Mar-a-Lago, even though earlier this year Trump publicly threatened him with life in prison if he did anything Trump viewed as illegal during the presidential campaign. Since then, their icy relationship has apparently thawed, especially after Trump survived his first assassination attempt.
He called me after the event, and he said that was really amazing. It was very brave.
Bezos, meanwhile, is touting Trump's promise to reduce regulation.
I'm actually very optimistic this time around. He seems to have a lot of energy around reducing regulation.
And billionaire Elon Musk has been by Trump's side virtually nonstop since the election. Musk owns X, formerly known as Twitter, as well as SpaceX, so he's a direct competitor of both Zuckerberg's Meta and Bezos's Blue Origin. Trump joking about his new dinner meetings with business leaders.
But I say jokingly, would you have been here at dinner if I lost? And the answer was probably not. Look, I'm getting called by everybody. It's very interesting.
For tech companies, the next 4 years will be crucial. The Trump administration will be weighing policies on artificial intelligence, cryptocurrency, and antitrust enforcement. Lester.
All right, Gabe Gutierrez at the White House. Thank you.
And now, back to our regularly scheduled program.
We have some news right now. It looks as though Amazon is at least partially caving to the Trump administration after the Trump administration called Amazon's decision to potentially put the cost of tariffs near the cost of goods on its website a, quote, hostile act. Amazon spokesperson is now speaking to the Washington Post and has said that the team that runs our low-cost Amazon Haul store has considered listing import charges on certain products. This was never a consideration for the main Amazon site, and nothing has been implemented on any Amazon properties. Essentially, the Amazon spokesperson is saying that it was never a consideration for the main Amazon website, only for Amazon Haul, which has considered listing import price duties on certain products. So the initial reporting from Punchbowl isn't wrong. And now Amazon, I guess, is just caving a bit to the Trump administration after Caroline Leavitt called Amazon out. I'll have updates throughout the day, so be sure to stay tuned. Subscribe to my Substack, link to my bio for more news, and follow along for all the news you need to know about. There'll be much more to come.
Jeff Bezos was very nice. He was terrific. He solved the problem very quickly, and he did the right thing, and he's a good guy.
First time we're hearing from the president himself today, and he appeared to confirm that report that he called Amazon founder Jeff Bezos earlier today to complain about that move that had been reported that Amazon was considering showing the impact of tariffs on its website, by which I mean adjusting its prices to show exactly what portion of it was due to the tariffs. The president was asked about that. He said that he had the call with Jeff Bezos, that Bezos was very nice. He solved the problem very quickly. He did the right thing. And he later said, quote, I appreciated what he did. So this confirms that report that Amazon first came out and said they were sort of downplaying the scope, saying this was only under consideration for one small part of their website and not for the main site. Then they clarified later that the tariff surcharges were never approved and were not going to happen. All of those moves appeared to follow this reported call that the president has now confirmed.
These billionaires who apparently run this country, because now everybody's saying it's true, they are fighting like little boys. Because this morning, Jeff Bezos, Amazon, they announced that they're going to put down tariff. I guess he had a conversation with Trump, and they were going back and forth, and he got mad and tried to retaliate. So he put on like the tariff cost this morning. Everybody was talking about it. I just got on the app, and I'm like, let me go check on this, because I didn't even see it. That was, I think, like 4 hours ago. I was on TikTok. I didn't see the news. And then I go, and I'm like, where is it? Where is it? It's not there. He took it away. It's like, they fighting. It's like families and cousins fighting, and you kind of like just in the middle of it, and you can't get away from it. This is how this country is starting to feel, like just all these billionaires fighting, going back and forth, and then we, the people, just have to sit back and observe this foolishness.
Y'all, it's Gigi. It's Tuesday, and I have an important update. Jeff Bezos got a call from Donald Trump this morning asking him not to list the difference in the prices due to the tariffs. And Bezos caved. And that's what's wrong with America. Why does Jeff Bezos not have a backbone? Pitiful. Pitiful, pitiful, pitiful. And a president wielding his power like that in consumer situations is really, more indicative of a dictatorship, certainly, than democracy. So, anywho, the prices are going up on Amazon. They're going up, I think, 375% on Shein and Temu. You heard that right. They're just not going to tell you why. That's all. But,